A Vort of the Rebbe for this week's Parshas Vayakheil Pekudei. In the beginning of Vayakheil, the Pasuk says, Sheishes Yomim Tiyosem Elocha, Vayem Hashvi Yilachem Kedesh Shabbos Hashem. 6 days work shall be done, and the seventh day should be holy, it should be a day of Shabbos, day of rest. And then the Psukim continue about making the Mishkan. And Rashi quotes from the Pasuk the word Sheishes Yomim, 6 days. And Rashi writes that the reason he told him the mitzvah of Shabbos before he spoke about the Mishkan, to teach you that Shabbos overrides the making of the Mishkan, and you can't work on making the Mishkan on Shabbos. But the question is, we know that Rashi, when he explains something, he quotes from the Pasuk in what we call the Dibur HaMaschil, in the heading, only those words that have to do with what he's trying to say, whether it's connected to the problem Rashi has in the Pasuk or the answer. So here, what Rashi should have quoted from the Pasuk were the words, Bayem Hashvi, you can't work. On the seventh day you can't work. So Rashi should say that why did he tell him you can't work on Shabbos before he told him about the Mishkan? To tell you that Shabbos is so important that you can't do the Mishkan on Shabbos. Why does Rashi quote the word Sheishes Yomim? He quotes the word 6 days, which means 6 days you work. And on that he says that he told him about Shabbos before Mishkan to tell you that it doesn't push away the Shabbos. Mishkan doesn't push away Shabbos. Rashi should have quoted different words. Why does he quote Sheishes Yomim? Then the Rebbe has another question. B'chlal, why does the Pasuk have to tell him that 6 days you could work? All the Pasuk should have said, Shabbos you can't work, and then tell us about the Mishkan. We'd understand that you can't even make the Mishkan on Shabbos. Why does it negate to the Pasuk to tell you that 6 days you do work? So the Rebbe says a very interesting pshat. He says normally a person would think, Be'emes, all 7 days are made for work. A person is made to work, all 7 days. But the Torah tells you that out of the 7 days which are shayach, connected to work, 1 day I don't want you to do it. If we would learn that way, then you could think, okay, since every day shayach is to work, even Shabbos is connected to work, but the Torah says don't do it. But could be if it's a very important type of work, you could do it on Shabbos, because essentially Shabbos is also a day you should work. So then you would think that to make the Mishkan, you're allowed to do on Shabbos. Comes the Torah and tells you, work is l'chatchila made for 6 days. It's not the pshat, work is made for 7 days, but the Torah said 1 day you don't. Take it out of don't work. Torah is telling you, l'chatchila sheishes yom to work was made for 6 days. And the 7th day Shabbos is not connected to work. So no one could even think that because it's an important type of work, you can do it on Shabbos. It won't even come up. So when does the Torah really tell you that you can't make the Mishkan on Shabbos? By knowing that Shabbos is a day that's beyond work and never was made for work. It's only 6 days. And that's why Rashi quotes the words Sheishes Yomim, 6 days, telling you 6 days is the time of work. And then on that Rashi says, by the Torah telling us that 6 days are shaykh to work and Shabbos is not shaykh, only 6 days are there. So Rashi says, now we'll understand that you cannot make the Mishkan on Shabbos, because it's as important as the Mishkan is, but it's not a day of work. It's chatchila never part of the category of work. That's why Rashi quotes the words Sheishes Yomim, and on that he said, that is what teaches us that you can't make the Mishkan on Shabbos, because only 6 days are made of work. This is beyond the concept of work. And that's why the Torah B'chlal writes it. The Torah writes it to tell you that it's not a day of work at all. And therefore we understand that no matter how important the work is, you still can do it. So that's why Rashi quotes Sheishes Yomim. And on that he says that this teaches us that you can't make the Mishkan on Shabbos.